pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tri Creek School Corporation of students, staff, and community endeavors to be a recognized leader for high achievement and exceptional growth. Innovative and equitable approaches build upon strong community pride and provide all students with well-rounded educational experiences to prepare for future successes.
Engaged to learn.
Equipped to achieve.
Empowered to succeed.
Thank you guys for coming tonight. Welcome. Do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda? Nope. Okay. Opportunity for public comment. We have two, but that is for non-agenda items, so we'll save those till the end. Superintendent report.
I would like to report out, I saw some school counselors in the audience tonight. It's School Counselors Week, so just a shout out to our school counselors. And interim Oak Hill principal Liz Slough sent me a write-up today that says the Oak Hill Cardinals robotics team has made it to state. They competed against 32 teams last Saturday in Mishawaka, Indiana, and all 3 teams placed in the top 3. Our kids represented Oak Hill very well. They displayed their sportsmanship, communication skills, and teamwork. The Cardinals will be competing against the top teams in the state of Indiana on March 23rd at Lucas Oil Stadium. The coaches, Mr. Holt, Mrs. Blackman, and Mrs. Haskins, have worked with the team since October. The kids built and coded robots for the new game this season. They even learned how to code the robots to drive autonomously. Needless to say, with a state bid or not, we are super proud of our Cardinal robotics. We are ready to rock it at state.
That's awesome.
That's all I got.
Okay, staff recognition.
Yeah, we have a lineup tonight. The first one is Hannah Connell. This is from a parent. My family is moving back to Maine next week, and Mrs. Connell had the whole class, including her and her teacher assistant, make my son a going away type book. Each classmate drew a picture and said something nice about my son, Thomas. My son ran off the bus with the biggest smile on his face and showed me the book. It was the cutest thing ever. Moving is hard, but this book helps a lot. We will keep it forever. Next one is actually for Dawn Johansson and Rachel Hildebrand. Our family has had a lot of changes this year, which has caused stress for my children. Mrs. Johansson has been beyond understanding, compassionate, and non-judgmental. She has been happy to give me updates when I check in frequently with her. She has been supportive and comforting to my child, always making sure he has extra support he may need. I feel so fortunate that this wonderful woman is educating my child, and when all the singulars in there applies to both women, Rachel Hildebrand and Dawn Johansson. But wait, there's more. Susan Luter. Susan Luter is a wonderful Tri Creek employee. Susan is a very hardworking and dedicated assistant. She strives for excellence in all that she does. Susan's work habits are impeccable. She helps any classroom she is in to run smoothly. She meets students' varied needs every day. She is a great encourager, which helps with student self-esteem as well as her academics. Susan always comes ready to work. She is flexible and ready to lend a hand anywhere she can. Susan acts as a positive agent of change. She is not only encouraging the students, but also to all of the adults. Everyone knows that Susan cares. She is a great team player and handles all matters with grace. Susan is respected by everyone. She is such a role model to all. We are lucky to have Susan Luter. She goes above and beyond. And the final one, my son has a slight case of Asperger's syndrome. Nurse Peggy Kennelly is always patient with him. He feels sick when he gets upset, and she does a great job. And that came from a parent.
Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing those. Okay. Regular business consent items. Oh, sorry, skipping ahead. Board member reports. Do we have any board member reports?
No.
Okay. school spotlight presentation, Lowell High School. Mrs. Patrick. You said it was tech office, right?
It's 9273.
Sorry, it's thinking. Yeah. All right, so thank you. Liz, Kyle, Shannon, and I are excited to present some exciting celebrations as well as data. It's going to pop up again. So we thought we would start with our vision statement. I know last year when we presented, we went over this as well, but our staff came together a couple of years ago and really tried to identify what were the qualities and things we hoped that graduates would leave with. And so our vision statement, which we have followed pretty regularly with everything that we do, is empowering students to be their best selves while fostering a strong sense of Red Devil pride. Perseverance, reliability, integrity, drive, and empathy. And so in everything that we do, those are the qualities that we're highlighting and recognizing from students and staff. So our current enrollment is down. This was pulled just last week. Our total number of students is 975. The graduating class last year was around 270, so they were the largest class that we graduated, and as you can see, the rest of our classes are pretty consistent around 250. So the Indiana Graduates Prepare to Succeed dashboard highlights different areas. One of those areas is student attendance, and so ever since COVID, I would say our attendance has been a struggle across the state, not just Lowell High School. But they calculate attendance by the number of students with at least 94% attendance divided by our total enrollment. So you can see in 2022, Lowell was at 51%, the state was at 59. 2023, which was last year, our attendance went down to 45%. And as of right now, thanks to Jake McCullough and Kelly Hurst, they were able to give me the current rate. So as of 2/8, our current attendance rate is at 56%. So what that means is we have 56% of our kids that have at least 94% attendance. Okay. So we have 3 goals outlined in our school improvement plan. The first is a social and emotional goal. And then we also have a math goal and an English language arts goal. And those goals are based on the data from the SAT. All of the juniors, that's the state accountability exam, all of the juniors take the SAT in March. So the first is our SEL goal. So we utilize an SEL screener. So in the past, we used a program called Panorama. It was a pretty pricey program and not super user-friendly. So we did take a bunch of things from it that we had liked, and we created our own screener. And so we do give that to students 3 times a year. So one of our goals was to pull from that because we found that our students were not feeling supported, whether that be from peers or staff. So you'll notice when we started this goal in 2022, we were at about 58% for both. So we developed the goal of getting to 75%. Of students feeling that they're consistently supported by peers and staff members. So every year that's steadily gone up, I'm super proud to say that this year, mid-year, 81% of our students report that they're feeling supported by their peers, which is excellent, and 90% feel they're being supported by staff. We do a lot of things to really try to make our students feel welcome and supported. One example was just recently, I'm not at the school right now, but the admin team put this in place where every single junior taking the SAT
got a handwritten card from a staff member encouraging them. So those are just some of the things that we do to really connect with our kids. And I think if you talk to kids in the hallway, they would say they feel very supported by their teachers, staff, and the adults in the building. And obviously in high school, peer relationships is something you're always working on. So I'm very proud to see that we're at 81% now. So then we move on to math. So those of you who are familiar with the SAT, this used to be the exam you took if you were going to go to college. Now every student takes this exam, whether they're going to college or not. It's very challenging. Our goal was that our students would be at 39% meeting or exceeding the college ready benchmark. We all know not every kid is going to go to college, and that's okay. But we started in 2022, our kids were at 22%, where the state was at 28%. I'm proud to say that we've gone up to 30%. So we rose 8% in 1 year. And I think a lot of that has to do with just a lot of curriculum alignment, increasing math PLC, working as a team to make sure that we're giving the students what they need to be more prepared for that test, because it is very challenging. So the state average is 30, and we're right at the state average. So math comparison, you can see some districts are higher, with Munster being the highest. So we still have some work to do in comparison to some of the districts around us. But going up 8% in 1 year is excellent. So we know that we can do that. Now we talk about English language arts. So our goal was that 65% of our students would either meet or exceed the college ready benchmark. And this is a 3-year goal, so we're in year 2 of that. So in 2022, we were at 52%. We did go up 1%. So we're at 53% now. Still pretty high above the state average, which is 49. But we definitely have some work to do in that goal.
I do think it's important to note as well that we're looking at 2 different cohorts. Mm-hmm. So these aren't the same kids that are taking it twice. So these are juniors from 2020. It's not the same group of kids. So unfortunately, the way that it works at the high school, we can't show growth with this. But we can still make sure that each class moving forward can score higher and is better prepared to take the test.
And then if you compare some of the area schools, we're much higher, much closer to your Crown Points and your Lake Centrals, and we're above some of the other schools that we're competing with. So of course, we're always striving to get better, so making good progress there. Okay.
I'm a note card person, just because there are a lot of points that I'd like to make. So as we strive for continuous improvement in student achievement, we have worked really hard, and we're encouraged by the shifts that we're seeing that are happening in our achievement. I want to highlight the bottom of this slide. So this is for the biology iLearn test. This test is required to be taken, but it doesn't count against us. But we have worked very, very hard. Our biology team, who is represented here tonight, has worked very hard to align the curriculum, develop the labs and hands-on activities that go along with it, and really increase the rigor in biology, which has made a huge difference in what our children understand about life sciences. So if you can see at the bottom, there's a really great statistic. We are ranked 37 out of 355 high schools for biology scores in Indiana.
What grade level is that?
Biology is a freshman class.
Okay.
Yes. This year we began the NWEA in Algebra 2, and Geometry. This test is not like the NWEA that is taken at the elementary and the middle schools. Those are nationally normed. These tests are course specific only, so that longitudinal data from grade kindergarten up to the 5th grade, you're not going to see that in this because it's specific to the course. Also, there's not enough samples for it to be normed nationally at this point. But it is our first year using it. So we took our fall, then we took our spring. Our fall to winter growth, we've been using this information in the PLCs. There are course specific things that you should take note of. To begin with, it can be shown that many of our students have met or exceeded their personal growth goals. In the fall when we began, that was our benchmarking, and now we're here. Some of the implementation dip that happens kind of in the mid-year is in part because they haven't been taught some of the skills that are on the test. The test is still accentuating some standards that are no longer taught in Indiana. So we're trying to tackle those things and figure out how we're going to work with that. But in an effort to be a recognized leader of high achievement and exceptional growth, the math team has been engaging very actively for 2 years in the PLC program. We meet together and we've established a real collaborative, trustful group, and we have lots of really fruitful conversations. The most exciting ones have been the last 2 weeks, actually. We've been talking about interventions and the way that we're actually going to use this data to move our students forward and bridge the gaps. Okay, also, advanced placement courses are a big part of our high school. As you can see, we have 16 advanced placement courses. We used to have less of this, and every year it seems to go up a little bit. We had more students who were in AP, but because we now provide so much more dual credit, our numbers in AP as far as the quantity of students has gone down. AP is a very solid program for students who want to take a college level course, achieve a credit for schools outside of Indiana, where dual credit is the opposite, it is for in-state. But many of our students do like to take these courses because of the college level experience that they receive. It is a very structured style of course. So many students will take this for their college prep. They'll also take it to qualify for the honors diploma. And some of them just take it along with dual credit in certain courses to see, because they're not sure if they're going to go out of state or stay in state, so they do both. The College Board does recognize that like 3, 4, or 5 would be a qualifying score to get you college credit, but they recognize that 2 is a very admirable and respectable effort given by students, because what they really are encouraging is that college level experience. Every year there is a new cohort, so the College Board takes care of the SAT. Similarly here, there is a new cohort. So when you look at these years, these students are completely different students. There may be some overlap with a few students taking different courses, but we really, the past 3 years, have started to notice a shift in scores, but like we said, that's cohort specific.
So Shannon had mentioned dual credit, and we have a huge majority of our kids that are able to take dual credit at the high school. So we looked at number of dual credits earned by graduating class, and you can see it's gone up significantly from 2021. So 2,546 credits is what our class of 2021 earned. Last year's graduating class earned 3,419. So if you look on average, that's a monetary savings of $1.12 million that our kids have saved because our teachers have gone above and beyond to get those credentials to be able to teach the dual credit right in-house at LHS. So that's fantastic. So the GPS also tracks college and career coursework. And so this is something else that we're scored on. When you look at the number of students in grade 12, we basically get points if they have passed an advanced placement exam, if they've passed an international baccalaureate exam, which we don't offer, or passed a dual credit course. So you can see we're very proud that Lowell far exceeds some of the other schools. The only school higher than us is Munster. Lowell is at 89% with that, which is fantastic. And we attribute that to the amazing amount of dual credits we can offer and the awesome programs that we also have. So graduation rates came out in December, and our graduation rate for Lowell was 98.1. The average state graduation rate was 89, and you can see from 2019 on, our graduation rate has slowly increased. And when you compare our graduation rate to the area schools, we are right below Crown Point. Crown Point is a 98.3% graduation rate. Lowell is a 98.15% graduation rate, and all of the other schools are below that. So we're really proud that we are getting our students to the finish line and that they're earning their diploma. So one of the things that the state is doing is students who don't meet the post-secondary ready benchmark competencies can apply for a waiver. We work really hard, our counselors work very hard at not having to have kids graduate with a waiver because that counts against us. Not only that, but kids who are not graduating with a waiver are completing a pathway, are earning the academic honors diploma. They're meeting those key requirements that are very important for the future. So the state sent out a notice that they will soon be putting a cap on how many waivers you can allow students in a graduating class to earn. So each year the waiver cap is going to significantly go down. The state sent out a projection that if the waiver cap were in place at 9% or 6% or 3%, this is what your graduation rate would be. And so we're really proud that because our students are not graduating with waivers, if we continue on this trajectory, our graduation rate would stay consistent at the 98.15 or whatever that is. It's not going to go down because of waivers.
So over the past few years, we have worked really hard to introduce new certifications at our high school with our CTE courses. Right now, we offer 15 certifications, but the thing I would say I'm most proud about those 15 certifications we offer is the fact that, they're meaningful, okay? There's a list of probably 200 certifications that we can pick from, introduce the students and do things with them. But these ones that we choose, and we work with our teachers, we really try to get their input on these certifications and what can be done with it, is that they can go and apply to a college, and it would put them ahead of other people that may be applying for a college. Maybe applying into a union, and it's something that makes them stick out, or something that allows them to go directly into the field of work, and again, puts them above other students that they may be competing with at other schools. You can see from 2019 to 2023, the increase. That is the amount of students in each graduating class that has achieved a certification. And some of these in our classes, we offer more than one certification. So like in auto, we offer ASE. You can get 6 different certifications in ASE to make sure you're prepared for suspension, for brakes, all types of different stuff. So even though that says 101, there are hidden numbers in that of students that did achieve more than one certification. So I think a common misconception by a lot of people is that, yes, we offer certifications, but certifications are something that it takes a lot of work by the teacher and student to be prepared for it, okay? And even though you take a certification, you're never guaranteed to pass a certification. Some of these tests are extremely hard for the students to pass, and if you do it, it's obviously a point of achievement for them. But we wanted to highlight some, and that is our criminal justice pathway. I don't think Mr. Bogenty is here tonight, but if you could pass on the word to him, that would be great. But he achieved an emergency telecommuter certification, 98% passing rate, which is awesome. And when these students turn 18, they can immediately apply or find themselves in some type of dispatch job. Something else to give Randy another shout out. A lot of people don't realize is that he is one of the first teachers to offer the jailhouse corrections certification as well too. So if you go to his course and you take that and you pass, again, there's age restrictions, so these are things you can keep in your back pocket that you can go find a job eventually once you reach the right age, and obviously if you pass the certification itself. So over the past few years, we have really built a relationship with the Carpenters Union. Even today, I was on a phone call with Nick Merkel, who works there. I'm in constant communication with Chris Charter. Some of you guys may recognize that name. But one of the things that we have at the high school is an articulation agreement. Okay, and this is an agreement that runs with our construction trades. It runs with our precision machine and our welding class. And there's a few things that this allows or looks for in our students. So in this one, we start to look for our kids that fall in this articulation agreement. I'll explain what it is in a minute. But what we have to do is find kids that have at least taken 2 years of one of these programs. If you've taken 2 years of those programs, the next thing, especially your senior year, we'll start to look at, do you have 90% attendance? Whenever we talk to these employers, they really want soft skills, and then 90% attendance means at least they're showing up. That will relate to the workforce, okay? The next point of that, they look for at least a 2.0, okay? The last 2 parts of that is a letter of recommendation by the teacher, and the teachers have to sign off on a certificate of mastery, meaning basically each of these classes has a list of things the Carpenters Union thinks these kids should have mastered by the end of those 2 years. And if we can say that they've met all those other checkboxes and they have a certificate of mastery, that they are a very qualified student for the Carpenter Union or the millwrights. If they can mark off all those boxes, the student can leave with all that criteria. They can go directly to the Carpenters Union. They can apply, and basically what it means in the end, they get to jump the line. You may have competition of 200 other people that are applying for the Carpenters Union, but you're going to get direct entry. You're going to go right to the front, and you're going to start your pre-apprenticeship. We have had students use this. I would say one of the best stories is we had a student that struggled over the last few years with making good decisions. By their senior year, you saw maturity, and they met this, and they're in the Carpenters Union now, and they came to our open house and talked about how well they're doing. All right, so most people don't know about this. This just happened with our construction trades course. I know this is a fancy graphic, and I will explain it. This is from the Department of Workforce Development. I've been working with them on it. But right now, we just became a certified pre-apprenticeship within our construction trades. So to meet this, I've been having to meet with the Department of Workforce, and we had to meet certain criteria for us to achieve this. The first part is we had to at least achieve 40 hours of classroom instruction. That's easy. We were going to get that no matter what, okay? The next part of that, though, is we had to achieve at least 120 hours of on-the-job training, which means your lab work, out in the field, doing whatever it may be. And within this, and it says, I'm sorry, I'm going to walk up, block everyone's view, so I apologize. By the end of this, we will get at least 448 hours. So that means from basically your freshman or sophomore year, when you first enter into principals, you're going to be in the lab a certain amount of time, probably about 30% in the classroom. And then by the time you got to the end of this and gone through the house build, you will have at least 448 hours of some type of training towards the construction trades and pre-apprenticeship. The last two parts here is we needed to have some type of certifications, at least 1 to 2, that our students would be given opportunity to pass. The first one is freshman, sophomore year when you first enter. We offer the OSHA 10, which is safety training, sort of an industry standard that you would see if people were going into the trades. Eventually they may have to take OSHA 30, but we started OSHA 10. And that's a good place for these students to start. The next thing we do, and we just started this, just met with the teachers and the Carpenters Union, and we went through, at the very end of their time on the house build, so you've gone through every single course. You're at the end of it. You are going to take the Carpenter's Certification Level 1, okay? That score goes directly to them. You have to get a 70 to pass it, and that meets our requirement for 2 certifications. We met the hourly requirement for hands-on training. The last part, we need an articulation agreement, which we already talked about. We meet that requirement. So what does this really mean in the end? Well, it goes on to basically say that our program is running at such a high level that you are essentially completing a pre-apprenticeship before you get into the Carpenters Union. You'll get direct entry, and you're going to start not as a pre-apprentice, you're going to start as an apprentice, which means more money in your pocket and you're a higher level. And I don't know who wouldn't want that as a 18-year-old kid going into construction trades.
That's great.
Are we the only school in the area that offers this?
So the articulation agreement they do have with other schools, that does exist. I do not know of another school that has the pre-apprenticeship that was just put in. I didn't even know we can offer it up until like 3 to 4 weeks ago when I was at a meeting with our construction trades and Chris Charters, and he started talking about that, and I asked him what it was. He got me in contact, and then we just started going through it. Oh, forgot to mention, this also offers work-based learning opportunities for our students and employers, and I'm learning about this. I have another meeting set up. Employers that take on our kids are going to hopefully be offered Region 1 money to pay for tools and or transportation for our students and things like that. So it does open up more doors than just a pre-apprenticeship. Hopefully it opens up job opportunities for their senior year of work-based learning.
And skills that'll always come in handy.
Yep, absolutely.
So for the celebration portion of this, it was very difficult for us to select which things we wanted to highlight. So we would like to just briefly talk about these 3. The Red Devil's Bistro, which Ms. Hinchy is here. This has been almost 6 months they've been working, actually since last year they had started talking about this. And in our cafeteria, in collaboration with the cafeteria, our entrepreneurship kids are putting together a coffee cafe. And so they have truly done everything on their own, from working with the graphic design class to talk marketing and posters and labels for the cups, to creating their budget and orders and everything in between. So they're truly getting the experience of a business right within our walls. And so this is slated to open hopefully within the next week or two. And I have no doubt that kids are going to be excited to purchase coffee and be able to just get that in-house instead of having to maybe wait in line at Dunkin'. So we're excited about that. Project manufacturing, the overnight request is actually, I believe, on the agenda for this evening, but our students in manufacturing participate in a competition where out of 80 different schools and universities, only 16 were selected to move forward. And so our students were selected. They get to, upon your approval, go to Texas A&M, and they will be competing there in March. So that is a really big deal, and I know that Mr. Hubble will probably want to come and celebrate that when he gets back with the board. And last but not least is our Red Devils Give Back. This is our third year in this initiative, and it's a school-wide program where our team leaders and teachers come together to give back to an organization. And so this year, again, we selected the Angel Tree through St. Ed's, and I'm proud to say that collectively, there was over $7,000 that was raised to purchase Christmas presents for students directly in our community, as well as help with the nursing home and provide gift cards as well. So it's a really big deal. And last but not least, we would like to show a video of our construction trades house build project so you guys can see where we're at and just the progress that's being made and what a great opportunity it really is.
Going out to the construction trades and I like building my house. I think it's a fun time to be able to work with my hands and get out of the classroom and just not be sitting down all day. And I think it's useful because you learn a lot of things that you can use in the future.
The house build has helped me a lot. Just learning about basic construction skills, especially if it was summer, if I want to go out and get a job in the construction field, it'll help me a lot. Trying to just know basic skills.
I learned skills that are going to help me as a homeowner and later on in life.
finished?
It is not.
Okay.
No.
Do they have it anticipated at the end of the year?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
that is the plan.
Thank you all very much for this presentation. It was excellent. And those of you that are here from the high school and counselors, thank you for the part you've played in these programs for our students and their successes this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, regular business consent items. Approve the minutes of the meeting held on Thursday, January 25th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Motion approved. Approve payroll and claims.
I'll make a motion to approve payroll, please.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Personnel. Approved personnel report dated Thursday, February 8th, 2024.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
I would like to say I'm wishing Robin McGuire the very best. I've known her for years, and I'm surprised she's still here, but I'm happy to see she's retiring.
Yes. Okay, number 2, approve the request from Tim Somers, CTE Director, to transfer 30 sick days from his balance of transferable sick days beginning February 7th, 2024.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Business operations, approve the overnight study trip for 6 Lowell High School manufacturing students to attend the Project Manufacturing Regional Competition at Texas A&M University in College Station, Texas, from March 5th to 8th, 2024.
I'll make a motion for that one. That's a great one.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Consent items, I'm gonna do these all together. Accept the donation from Katie Mirage of Lowell, Indiana, in the amount of $50 to help fund the Lowell High School Environmental Club ECA projects. Accept the donation from Kelly Williams of Valparaiso, Indiana, in the amount of $250 to provide AAC Snap Core apps on 5 iPads in the life skills class at Oak Hill Elementary School that will be used as a teaching tool for students, peers, paras, teachers, assistants, and parents. Number 3, accept the donation from Jeff and Jean Lamb in the amount of $20 to support the Feed Them Forward Fund to pay down negative student meal balances. Number 4, accept the donation from Lake Prairie Elementary School PTO in the amount of $60 to help support the grade 2 study trip. And number 5, accept the donation from Lake Prairie Elementary School PTO in the amount of $153.51 to support the 5th grade study trip.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, public participation, we have 2 currently. Dustin Hudak, you're up.
I am here today to speak on behalf of the non-renewal contract, or the possibility of a non-renewal contract for one of the high school admin. The first time I spoke, I was reading something on behalf of a bunch of teachers. So I was reading something. I just wanted to publicly speak on our behalf today. Now, before I begin, I try not to repeat what other teachers have said. So I just want to publicly state that I 100% stand behind what Joe Giannotti and what Lindsay O'Neill said on January 25th. I 100% stand behind that. And so all I want to do this evening is just take the opportunity to turn to Angela and just say, through all of this, the character that you have shown, both professionally, coming in, what you've just done, all the great things you have done, coming in and day out, has been truly remarkable. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but professionally, what you have done has been outstanding. and I will follow you anywhere. And then I've been fortunate enough to know you a little bit on a personal level, and having kids in the district and seeing how you are. You are a great admin, but more importantly, I know this matters, but none of this matters. You are an amazing mother, and you are an amazing wife, and you have 3 great kids. And I know how tough it is having a daughter in the school corporation and the spotlight being on them. You are raising 3 great kids. Thank you.
Bryn Benton.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. My name is Bryn Denton. I'm a school counselor at the high school. I'm also a Lowell resident and an alumni of the class of 2005. My sons attend Oak Hill Elementary and Lowell Middle School. Prior to coming back to my alma mater, I did work at other area high schools, which are all considered high-achieving schools that were listed in that presentation. While every location has its positives and negatives, please make no mistake. The administrative team that I have the pleasure to work with at LHS is by far the most supportive, strongest, and most involved team that I've ever worked with. As a school counselor, every summer I have job offers sent to me from local schools. We're very in demand right now. Thus far, it has been really easy for me to turn those opportunities down. When I came to Lowell, the grass was very much greener than my previous school districts. That being said, if Angela Patrick is released from her duties as LHS principal, I truly anticipate a significant exit by the faculty at LHS. Angela's leadership, along with that of Shannon Mazurek, Kyle Bessich, and Liz Slough, is what has kept me at LHS. As a counselor, my position calls for us to work closely with the administrative team, and it is rare that a day passes that I do not interact with each one of them, usually many times. Each and every admin member has more on their plate than I've ever seen at any of the previous districts I've worked at. That being said, they never hesitate to answer any questions that I have, provide a consultation, or step into an impromptu student meeting, all with a smile on their face. An important part of any job is feedback. Angela is my evaluator at LHS and has been since my first year. We have had many conversations, both positive and also regarding some feedback about what I could work on to improve. Coming to LHS was a culture shock in the best way, as I now experience what it is like to have involved administrators who not only know what I do and what my job entails, but what the teachers do, what the curriculum entails, when the field trips are, what team won last night, whose club meets today, and so forth. Not only that, our administration knows the students. They know their names, they know their stories. They care. Never has it been so important to view the students in a holistic nature, and Angela and her team are the best of the best at not only every other detail that comes along with running a high school, but with this most essential one. Please allow Angela to continue pursuing excellence for the faculty and students at LHS. With her presence, leadership, and organizational skills, she embodies what it means to make it a great day to be a Red Devil every single day. Thank you.
Are there any others? Okay. The next meeting of Tri Creek School Board of Trustees is scheduled for Thursday, February 22nd, 2024. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I would like to say there seems to be a lot of questions regarding the new calendar and specifically like childcare and things of that nature. So I don't know if there's a way that we can send out an all-call email that discusses some of those topics more specifically. I know that we've talked about it in the school board meetings, but I think it's just not getting out to the public on those, the 2-hour early dismissal days, the half days. That's what I keep seeing come up a lot in stuff that I see across social media.
What are the types of questions?
Like concerns of whether there will be childcare offered, like here after school, things of that nature. So just maybe touching on those points, giving people a heads up on what to expect.
And I remember we did discuss it, and it was brought to me yesterday too about it, like for the middle school, high school kids, if they have an early release and they have practice, we kind of touched on that. Are they gonna have an opportunity to stay for a study table? Or are they gonna go home and have to come back? So,
And then to confirm, I've had also questions about the times, the start and end times. Those are just drafts at this point, correct? We have not officially approved those, or did we
Yes.
officially approve
Mhm.
those?
We did.
they're on the calendar.
It's a draft on the thing, so that's why I wanted
It says,
to, the start and end times for the day.
it says draft on the one that's posted?
Somebody sent it to me. Maybe they got a hold of.
I was gonna say, it's probably one of the earlier
Yeah, an
copies.
older one, so I just wanted to confirm that so that everyone knew.
Yeah, the one that's posted now is the one that was
Okay,
board
it was
approved.
probably. That was it.
So childcare practices, study tables,
And
start times.
I did have a question about, somebody had asked me also about the bus schedule with the new start and end times and the LAS and middle school, but I know that that's being worked on, but it is something that's coming up.
Sure.
With the calendar being released.
It's good to have these discussions,
Mhm.
clarify.
Yep.
Yeah. We can do that.
Anything else? Okay, meeting adjourned.